Are you going to Hollywood Studios and bringing your child and you're worried about height requirements? If so, this is the video for you. In this video, I am going to give you my complete guide for how to navigate Hollywood Studios with an infant or a toddler and what rides you can do. If you're new here, hello and welcome. My name is Jenny, certified teacher, doctoral student, and mom to two girls. Alice, who is my toddler, she's 2 years old, and Mina, who is my 11-month-old. And in this video, I'm going to show you everything that I took them on and what we did at Hollywood Studios. Wait a minute. This is Epcot clothes. Hold on a minute. Ha, that's more like it. Gotta have Star Wars stuff. Anyways, I'm going to tell you all the different rides you can do with a toddler that are within the height requirements. Hollywood Studios is really popular right now because of course, Star Wars. And I wanted to include what you can do with your toddler there. I kind of break down the rides into a couple of different categories. First, I include information about the waits. Is there a long wait? Is the line interactive or interesting? Second, I'll include what the ride entails. And third, I'll include if there's anything that's particularly dark or scary or might upset your toddler. Okay, so the first ride on my list is Toy Story Mania. Toy Story Mania is a ride that you basically are going through and playing a whole bunch of carnival games with 3D glasses on. The line queue for this is so much fun. I mean, even I was obsessed with just looking around and looking at all the stuff in there. They have Monopoly boards on the ceilings, they have Sorry games, they have cards, they have barrels of monkeys. That line queue is beautiful. I mean, whoever designed that queue is fantastic. There's a lot of stuff to look at. There's a lot of stuff to touch. Now, there's not any games in the line that I saw, but it doesn't matter because the line is so pretty that I find that there's not much problem with waiting a little longer. The wait is usually around 45 minutes. If you go early in the day, it's not quite as bad. I know for us, we did Lightning Lane and we just walked straight onto it basically, and it was well worth it. My littlest Mina also went on it and she really liked looking at everything too. I will say for this one though, it does have 3D glasses and it is hard for Alice to keep them on. She kept trying to put them on and they were just a little too big for her face. So she really kind of struggled with the 3D glasses part. Fortunately, you don't necessarily have to wear the 3D glasses in order to play the game. So the game basically, you hold on to these two different handles and you're pulling like a ball essentially while you're aiming in a specific direction. So what I wound up doing with her is I let her pull the ball and I would direct hers so that she was able to actually feel like she was succeeding in some of it. Just know that you're probably not going to get to play yourself. You'll probably be playing with your toddler for the ride. Ride number 2 I want to mention, and it's not really a ride, it's more of a show, and you'll find that with this park is that there's a lot of shows. And I know for my child, she doesn't like to sit still. So all the ones that I'm suggesting are ones that are short. So the second one I'm suggesting is Lightning McQueen's Racing Academy. The great thing about this one is that it runs every 15 minutes, which means you are never gonna wait more than 15 minutes. When you go in, you get to see an amazing animatronic of Lightning McQueen, and you kind of get to see like this little show where he talks, and you'll see Tow Mater on the screens, and it's almost like you're going through a simulation of a ride game, but it's all on benches. But like I said, the show is 10 minutes long. It was not too long to ask for Alice to sit, and the wait was, I mean, it was like 5 minutes long because when we rolled up there, it was almost time to go in. So if you're looking for something to be in the air conditioning, something that your little one is able to do because of all the height requirements, and something that's really cool, the animatronic is really neat in there, I highly recommend Lightning McQueen's Racing Academy. My next suggestion with no height requirement is Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. So when you are going right up the main street of Hollywood Boulevard, you will notice right in the front of you will be Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. Basically what this ride is you are on a train that is conducted by Goofy and has gone off the rails and is kind of going through all these crazy scenarios and eventually gets back to where it belongs. So as far as the line goes, the line has some parts that are shorts, and you'll see posters of Mickey and Minnie on their different adventures, and there are some screens that show videos, but I found the line to be a little bit dull. There's not a lot in there when you go in, and that can be a problem because the wait can be fairly long. Now the good news is with this ride though, there are no 3D glasses. It's purely just riding the ride. There are occasional moments in this ride that are a little bit loud and scary, and actually in this ride was the only one where Alice got a little bit freaked out. There's a part where there is a big tornado that you're gonna pass by, and Alice did not like that tornado. She didn't cry, she just covered her face and she just didn't want to look at it. So just, that's something worth knowing, is that that ride does have a couple of moments that are a little bit scary, but she also really liked it. There's a little bird at the end that's like in a window, and she got just really obsessed with that bird. They actually have them for sale right outside the door too, so we wound up buying that bird. Daisy teaches dance classes. I mean, it's a really neat, fun ride, and it's all the classic characters. So if your child likes the classic characters, it's a great one to check out. My next suggestion, and possibly my favorite one on this entire list, is the Disney Junior Dance Party. Now, I never thought that this is something that I would attend, but you know, having toddlers and seeing that this is a possibility, I thought, okay, well, let's see what this is all about. Alice loved it. She could not get enough. Basically, it's this big stage that's up on a ledge, and then it's just floor. So you can actually sit on the floor with your toddler, and your toddler gets to stand up and dance and see different characters. I know they have Doc McStuffins, Vampirina, and we had Timon, and of course Mickey Mouse. And they all come out and do a little dance routine and dance with the kids, and then they all come out at the end and they dance with the kids. There's bubbles that come down from the ceiling. I mean, it is perfect for a toddler, especially if you need a break from standing in lines or riding in a stroller. This is the best. Honestly, she probably would have been happy if I did it twice. The line for this one is basically you're just gonna wait until the time when they say you're allowed to go inside. The line's entirely outside, so it's not interesting, but you also don't really need to line up early for this. You kind of can just roll up right before it starts. For us, we went at 9:55 was the start time of the show. We went at about 9:45, and we went straight into the theater, sat down, and they kind of have like a hype man in there that was just kind of hyping them up before the show started while they were still filing in other people. So there was still entertainment going on while we were waiting on the show to start. If you have not checked this out, you're missing out. Make sure you take your toddler to this. They will love it, I promise you. The last no height requirement ride I wanted to mention is the Mickey Shorts. So the Mickey Shorts is actually a theater that's kind of like on the way to Star Wars, and you'll see the facade for it, and it's basically a really short Mickey film. What I like about this one is it's running constantly. It's a short film, which means it's not like, you know, full 45-minute production. And it's an air-conditioned theater, so you get to have some air conditioning and enjoy Mickey. I know for my child, she really likes Mickey, and she's willing to sit for a little bit longer for Mickey. There are some other really amazing shows at Hollywood Studios, but at least for toddlers, for me, I know that she will not sit for Frozen because it's 30-some minutes long. I know she won't sit for Beauty and the Beast because it's 30-some minutes long. There's just no chance that my toddler is gonna sit for that long. If your child will, they're fabulous, and I highly recommend them. But I just know for me personally, she wasn't gonna sit for long. Anything we did had to be 15 minutes or less. The last thing I wanna mention too is if your child is 32 inches tall, which if they're 2 years old, they might be, is once you're 32 inches tall, you are now eligible for alien swirling saucers. And that's basically like, if you've ever been to a fair, it's like the scrambler combined with the teacups from the Magic Kingdom. So if your child is 32 inches, you can actually take them on the swirling saucers. So Alice actually was 32 inches, but Mina, my 11-month-old, was not. So we chose to just not do that this time. But I did want to mention it and show you a little clip of it because it is something that your toddler might be able to do depending on their age. I hope this video was helpful for you and you have a fantastic trip at Hollywood Studios. I love the park. It is super fun. It's the one that I like going back to at night once I drop my kids off and we have someone watching them to just enjoy. And I hope you get some ideas for things that your little one will enjoy too. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, consider subscribing. I do all sorts of parenting, educational, and Disney content because we are pass holders. And I hope to see you in the next video. I hope you have a fantastic trip to Walt Disney World, and I will see you next time. Take care.